Welcome to the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and dangy.
Hello. No, I gotta stop doing that.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hope you are having a fantastic day. It is Sunday for us, and it's a good day to record podcast.
It must be. This is our second one today.
It is. So we had a couple guests this morning, and now we are doing our in-between week, which is just me and Daniel.
Just us. That's the Just Us episode, as I call it, as I put in the notes there. I listen to our podcast.
I know you do.
I'm not trying to rub that in, but I have noticed that I have mentioned Mrs. Doubtfire 42 times since you did the Mrs. Doubtfire.
Because it was so good.
It was
good.
The
impression was right on.
And every time, we didn't do it today, but every time I have introduced someone since we come out here, I go, I guess this is Kitchen Table Talks. And I'm like, dude, could you say that again in the next episode? So,
see, this is exactly why I don't go back and listen. So do not pick myself apart.
I kind of like it, only because I feel like it helps me to be a better podcaster.
Yeah, it's just going to make me go crazy.
And
so
if you'd like to learn how to be a better podcaster, you can sign up for my class.
Actually, yes. So we are actually working with Melanie at the Creative Hub. And she asked us if we'd be interested in doing a class on kind of the how-tos of starting up a podcast, the tech you use with it, the marketing, if you can make money from it. Like, we have a whole slew of topics that we're going to kind of cover, but we're going to keep it simple and, maybe like an hour or so, hour to two workshop, I think. And I chose for us to...
What's that buzzing?
Oh, whatever. I didn't turn my phone off.
Hey, when you take the class, one of the first things we're going to tell you is make sure your phone
and
is
your
on
guest phone.
Do not disturb.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So, anyway, they do free workshops there if you choose to, or you can charge a fee. And of course, since we do the service for free to the community, we're going to do a free class for everybody. So
I thought we talked about making some jack off this off air.
I want you to pay $50 per person to come.
I'm totally kidding. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a great idea. And I love the whole Creative Hub idea. We've had them on the show before, and it's just a coolest little creative community in Apopka. And if you don't know about the Creative Hub, you really need to check them out because they do classes on just about everything. It's the neatest little old house that has been converted into like an art studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had Melanie and Matt on the show, and we actually went to the Creative Hub to record their podcast there. So Dan's looking up the podcast episode right now to see which one it is. He's being a cheater. See, I already have it memorized.
I'm usually pretty slick at that, but I just hit the play button, so you just heard part of that in the background.
I already have it memorized. I think it's like episode 145.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
You just looked at my phone. You're such a liar.
Anyway, yeah, so check out their episode to hear the cool story about how they came to be and what their plans are for the future with the Creative Hub.
Yes.
I know one of the plans is for the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast to be there to teach a podcasting class.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just, in all seriousness for a minute, that is episode 145, and we had a really fun time interviewing them. We did a video version of that one on YouTube as well. But for the class, we are going to approach all those things about how you can make money and the stuff that Angie mentioned. Of course, I'm going to focus heavily on the technical side and the equipment that you need for a podcast. But if you're out there listening and you're considering doing a podcast, I'm going to start from the most basic, most inexpensive way to get a podcast started that's still a quality podcast. We went through this when we started. You can do it for very little money to get started, and then you can kind of work your way up into different equipment and different things that you can do with it. So we'll do sort of, we haven't finished the entire itinerary yet. Or what do they call it in school? It's not called itinerary. It's called
agenda? Outline?
No, there's a class. There's a class. It's like we're doing
action lawsuit.
Anyway, we haven't figured out the full the whole agenda yet.
Yeah, yours will be the tech. Mine will probably be more towards networking.
Yes.
Guest, topic, and marketing.
Right. Yeah, that'll be great. But we're also going to go from the sort of small, medium, large sort of
Scale.
beginner, intermediate, sort of advanced kind of scale. So
Yeah.
And at the very end of this entire show, right when the music kicks on, I will think of the word that I was trying to think of
you
for
think of it.
School classes.
You think of it.
Anyway.
Well, we hope everybody had a great Easter. Easter was last Sunday, so we hope you enjoyed your day celebrating and eating good food and hunting Easter eggs and eating candy or doing whatever it is you do on the holiday of Easter.
We had a really fun Easter. We actually went and spent Easter with the family this year, which was really cool with my side of the family. We haven't done that in a couple years.
Yep.
We've been busy with other stuff. We started the day off by getting an Easter basket for our little one.
We did. Little Mackenzie got a little Easter basket with one toy that she's already destroyed, the little squeaky elephant.
What's weird because she's had squeaky toys before. She hasn't destroyed like that, but I guess she really loved it. Anyway, we hope you guys had a great Easter as well. We also did a recent date night. We've decided to start doing a dedicated date night every week or two.
Every 2 weeks, I think, will be practical for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the next couple months, once a month might be practical for what's coming up. But yeah, we went to Garibaldi's and had their excellent margaritas. And we're eating very clean and healthy. So we were like, well, how do we do that there? But we just split like a chicken fajita, lots of veggies.
It was really
and it was good.
It was really good.
Perfect. Didn't overeat. And we did do a little bit of chips and salsa. But I mean, come on. No, you can't have those things put in front of you and you not eat any.
You know, I'm going to be honest here because that's what we try to do. We talk about real talk and how we try to be honest. And, you know, I'm kind of inspired by Denny Tornatore with his Denny Tornatore Eats the World My Way podcast because he's very honest if he goes to a restaurant to talk about the food. And I have never been super impressed with Garibaldi's food. They're a mom and pop place. I'm just telling you the truth. I've always been impressed by their margaritas. We haven't been there in a long time. I don't know if they changed the menu. I don't know if it was just the menu item that we ordered, but I really liked the fajita. The chicken was delicious. It was great portions. The service was amazing. Their margaritas are off the chart.
Yeah, I think you normally get tacos. I don't love tacos unless I make them at home.
That's it, guys. That wraps the show. Thank you for joining us.
I'm telling you, they're not something I prefer to order when I go out.
My favorite thing.
A lot of times they taste very bland to me. So
my favorite thing.
I would rather, I really want something that has more veggies on it too.
Well, you don't even like tacos from Tijuana Flats.
They're not good.
They are not good. You're right. They are great.
They're not good. They're not great.
They are spectacular.
They are not my thing.
Anyways,
I will not eat them.
Garibaldi's was really good. If you've not been to Garibaldi's, I can't really tell you what to get on the menu other than the fajitas, but their margaritas are they should come with an Uber ticket.
They really should.
They are delicious though. They are really, it's not just strong, they're delicious.
They're like the perfect blend. Like the perfect blend.
Of what? Delicious and strong?
Well, yeah. But the strong isn't like the first thing that hits you. You don't drink it and go, oh, God, there's only tequila in here. It's a good balance.
Yeah, true.
So whatever the mix is that they're using, or if they're just using limes or whatever it is, it's not too acidic. I can get a stomach ache from margaritas sometimes.
True.
That's why I always get the sweeter one usually. But there I don't. So.
Well, here's the pro tip if you go there. If you think, all right, I'll get a margarita, but I'm going to just kind of get the smaller one. No. That's what I did. Angie got the giant one. And then I had to buy another smaller one for myself and pay more for the same amount because they were so good.
$4.
Yes.
You could have just got the bigger one.
It was my $4 margarita tax. But anyway, Garibaldi's in Apopka. I'm sure every one of you that are from Apopka know about Garibaldi's. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
But if you're not from the area or you don't know, check them out. They're the intersection of 436 and Wekiva Springs Road.
Yep, that is correct. Right there next to kind of the Hobby Lobby or in the Hobby Lobby shopping center.
What else have we been doing?
Well, I'm glad we are not recording today, on video, because I look like a monster.
You do not, and I did want to tell you, I don't want to break this to you, but we are recording.
Whatever. You're going to fix that then.
I'm
anyway,
not
I have my lip is It's very like layered and chapped looking right now.
It's not bad though.
Yeah, I did honestly think it's going to be a lot worse, but it might get a lot worse as it heals. But I had to go to the dermatologist. I had like this very chapped, inflamed spot on my lip. And it's been, I mean, I've had it for probably 6 months at least. It's been coming and going. And so finally I made them test it because they had to take a chunk out of it to test it. And that looked ugly too. But
we'll post some pictures of that chunk. We've saved it on fineanddangy.com.
But they tested it was like precancerous, so they just they did the froze it.
Yeah.
What's it called? The nitrous oxide?
No, that's the really good stuff.
Is that
nitrous
the stuff
oxide
I should
is the
make the stuff you breathe?
That's the stuff you breathe.
Really good. Anyway, they froze it
it's
off.
hydrogen
Peroxide?
it's the stuff they used in Terminator 2.
Whatever. Anyway, everybody knows what we're talking about. They froze it off basically, and so now it's just healing.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back in a month and get it checked to make sure it's all gone, and I'll stay out of the sun.
Yeah. You know what though? It doesn't look bad. I'm glad you got it taken care of. And if you're getting not old but older like we are, I've had this observation recently, and I honestly think about this in a sort of jest kind of way, and I'm kind of joking, but I think you have to kind of look at it this way. It's kind of like a car that you've had for 50 years. You get to a point to where you got to start kind of replacing parts, and it's okay. It's totally normal. So don't be shocked by it when you get to be in your 50s. I mean, we feel young, we're active, but there are things you just have to address. And I have been a little more in the hospital the past year, getting some things taken care of. My back is wrecked. I'm looking for a spinal surgeon right now, or a spinal specialist.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, let's try to avoid the surgery, but
I don't know though.
PT isn't like really doing the job.
No, it seems like it's making it worse. And I honestly, I want to avoid anything totally intrusive, but spinal surgery has changed quite a bit. And so I'm,
it's not the same as it used to be.
I'm looking at options because now lasers and things they can do pretty quick and maybe less intense. And I've talked to a few people that have had it done. They're like, oh, I woke up feeling 100 times better, but I am struggling with back pain. So if you have recommendations for a good spinal specialist out there, please reach out to me or us and let me know. Yeah,
a recommendation is always great.
I agree because, you hear horror stories too.
Yeah. So what else have we been up to? Well, everybody knows we've been transitioning the house into an Airbnb.
ABB. That's the shortcut.
ABB. But we've been doing it kind of leisurely, I would say. Like, we're not like balls to the wall. We are, we do some stuff on the weekend, but we might go do something else, We're
trying to live our lives still.
We're living our lives, but we have like 2 months now.
So all that started changing now.
Yeah, so all that started changing. So the place that we're going to rent has become available, and it won't stay like that for long. It's not going to be on hold for us or something.
We've claimed it.
So it will be time to move in a couple months when it's ready. And so literally it really put the time crunch on us now.
We probably have 60 items left to do, and some of them might be relatively small and take 2 or 3 hours, but it's
like every day when I get home, I got to do something. You are a little bit limited in what you can help with just because of I don't want you injuring yourself again.
I think it's
yell
a
at you.
perfect time.
How many times you get yelled at a day?
You say that. You never actually yell at me, but
I do yell at you. I hit you with a spoon.
You're so lying.
I'm very violent.
You're lying. Please help me if you're listening.
Can't even blink your eyes for the video.
I know. But I honestly think it's the perfect time to tear your back up when you're preparing yourself to go to an Airbnb. To go to an apartment and convert your house.
Have to climb stairs every
I
day.
think it's the perfect time to tear up your back when you have 65 things you have to do to your house. So
anyway, it'll get done. Hi, Mackenzie. What are you doing over there? Are you growling at us? What did you do? Baby.
Okay, she's going to take a break to talk to the dog, but we are full steam ahead on that.
Yeah.
A couple things we want to mention going on in town and with our local mom and pop businesses this week, like we always do in between our guests. Fox Valley Farm and Hopyard, they've started their own podcast and their own YouTube channel. It's called Beyond the Coop, which I think is super cool name for it.
Super cute because, life's all about like the chickens there. They got the chicken farm there, so it's super cute. And chickens are very entertaining.
They are. And the emus, there is a clip. You guys have to go check this out. There's a clip of them trying to
wrangle them.
They're also trying to just do a discussion about the farm and the emus, and they come into frame and start taking Jen's hat, and they finally, and Jen's like, just don't hit the camera, and then the whole lens goes scrambled, and you see the sky for it.
And then they have to move to a totally different location away from the emus.
So it's really, really funny, but it's a really cool podcast. So check out the podcast, check out the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so the podcast is just like literally about farm life, about cool things they've discovered as far as plants they've grown or herbs they've discovered, or just cool things about farms, because they didn't have any experience in this when they started the farm.
Right, that's not how they've made their career, and they do it out on the farm, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I love that. Well, they do the YouTube channel on the farm. The podcast is done in the little market that they have there. So they actually record the podcast in the market. But the YouTube, they're really trying to, educate people just on the farm life.
I love it.
Basically, city slickers becoming farm people.
Farm people, and it's great.
Pretty funny.
And we love Jen and Mike and Fox Valley, but this is a really good one, so check it out.
And Earth Day is coming up April 21st. Fox Valley is celebrating April 23rd. It's a Sunday. And they are going to be celebrating Bing and Bong's birthday. Bing and Bong are the emus that are on the property. So it's going to be fun. They're going to have some demonstrations there. Vixen Soaps will be there doing how to make soap presentation.
Oh, how cool is that?
There will be
Fight Club.
Yeah, there will be some food vendors. There will be a few other vendors there.
Is your phone still vibrating?
No, Mindy's calling me. Hi. She must know. I should answer it.
No, don't answer it on the air.
Answer it.
This is, and by the way, when you guys take the course of the Creative Hub.
Are you busy?
We're recording a podcast right now. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hey, who am I saying hi to?
The audience.
Now, I kid you guys. I kid you not, guys. This is literally Mindy from Vixen Soaps. We were just talking about Vixen Soaps.
I literally just said that you were doing a presentation at Fox Valley on Earth Day.
Yeah, and we're going to debut the new Fox Valley Farm signature scent in the soap that we're making.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay, I just want to let everybody know we did not plan this call.
You were supposed to call like 5 minutes ago, by the way.
No, we did not plan this call. And as soon as I mentioned
that is
Vixen
weird.
Soap,
that
you called. Okay, am I putting the energy out there or what?
That's awesome.
That is really weird. That is really weird. But anyway, that presentation is going to be cool. It's so cool that Mindy called right now. I can't believe it.
Anyway, can I call you right back?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, before you call her back, while we got Mindy on the call, Mindy, we're going to be doing a...
Mindy hung up on us.
Oh, she hung up. Okay. All right. I was going to make more of another joke about it. It's not really a joke. We actually are going to do a course about how to do a podcast and
how to silence your phones.
I'm make another joke about do not disturb mode, which is something you definitely want to do on your phone when you are...
I might get an important call like that one. I don't know.
Now that I've made such a fuss about this, I'm going to accidentally leave mine on during the next show, during an interview, probably with a big celebrity or something.
It makes for a good show. It makes for entertainment. Anyway, shout out to Mindy and Jeremy for cooking us an amazing dinner the other night as well.
That was very good. It was very good.
It was
And it was healthy. What's cool is they tweaked it because we're eating healthy. And we told them that. They did like grilled fish and like sweet potatoes and beets,
which you ate.
I literally now like beets.
I know, and I actually bought some because as soon as you said that, I'm like, ooh, I'm getting beets up in this
It was
house.
so good. And Brussels sprout. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm getting old. Anyway, that Earth Day at Fox Valley Farm is on April 23rd. But if you want to have the coolest local action-packed weekend, you could start on Friday, April 21st by going to Wekiva Island's Earth Day River Cleanup. They do this every year.
Yes, I do. I've done it.
It'll be at 9 a.m. on Friday. It's free canoe rental. They do good for the planet. They do like a scavenger hunt. They do a succulent workshop. There's so much stuff going on there. But they give you like bags and like a little grabber thing where you can get...
Yeah, so that is the rule is if you're going to get a free kayak or canoe, you have to, while you're paddling... look for any trash in the river, and it's like a little scooping net like you would scoop fish up with, or a little grabber, and you collect it and then you bring it back.
I'd love that.
Because, they keep track of how much trash is brought out of the river. Now, I will tell you, and this is pretty impressive. So I've done it before, and we found literally one piece of trash. So that means that Wekiva Island is doing their part to keep that river spick and span.
And I'll tell you, if you've ever been to Wekiva Island, and if you haven't, you have to go regardless of anything else we say here. That's an amazing place. But behind the bar, on the wall, they have artifacts that they've found in the river, and you wouldn't believe, just like the old beer can. I'm talking really old, like 70s beer cans and just weird stuff that's mounted on the wall in there. But yeah, they have basically manually trudged the river in this area to keep it all clean.
Yeah.
Super cool idea. But you could do that all day. We'll put a link in the show notes for how you get there. I mean, the schedule and more details about it. They also, before we get into the rest of your action-packed weekend, Wekiva Island does host corporate events. This is something I didn't even know until recently. I didn't. You can rent a cabana, which we do know, and we've had cabanas there. It's so cool. It's almost like a room on sandy beach.
Yeah.
Right on the river. Jump right into the river. It's got a couch in there. It's just the coolest little area, like your own little private area. You can also rent the entire island if you wanted to for a corporate event. So the whole place is yours, all the cabanas, all of it, and then everything in between. They've got every option in between. So we'll put a link to Wekiva Island.
They have a classroom that sits right on the water that you can use. I mean, they have like the art studio upstairs now you can rent out. It's a great place for a corporate event.
And it's like a hidden gem in Apopka if you don't know about it. And if you used to go to the island, God, I wish I remember what it used to be called before it was Wekiva Island out there, but it was like a fish camp. But you would be blown away to go out there today and how much the place has been just totally upgraded. Yeah.
And if you are looking to rent cabanas for the summer, I guarantee you better, I suggest you do it now because they do sell out. Yeah. They 100% sell out. They fill up every weekend. So definitely get your cabana rented and have all your family and friends out for just a great day supporting a great company.
I agree. So let's go back to that awesome weekend that's coming up. So, you've got your Friday morning at 9 a.m., April 21st. You're going out and doing the Wekiva Island thing. You're on the river. You're hanging out there having some drinks afterwards. That evening, Tornatore's, which we talk about all the time, that the Tornatore's Italian restaurant and Italian marketplace. I know I got the name wrong. I always do. Restaurante. Spectacular place. But they are doing an event that evening. It's another one of their comedy and dinner shows. That's April 21st. This is not at the restaurant. It's at the Cottage on Lake Fairview.
It's right down the road, actually, from the restaurant.
It is such a cool event. Now, we haven't seen all the pictures. We've heard all about it from Denny. They've had big names in it. They've had just, some of the locals. The doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. I don't know how much it is per ticket because we deleted it out of the notes.
It's $80 per ticket.
Yep, $80.
$80 per ticket. It covers the buffet that Tornatore's is going to have. And then they also have a full bar, but it is like a cash bar. Yeah. So they're supporting a local bartender. And then they got, of course, a giant charcuterie spread. Denny does the food up right. This is like the food alone is worth the $80.
Oh, it's worth more than it. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is only $80. We're actually going to be at this one for sure.
Yes, we are going to this one because we don't have any prior engagements. And so I told Denny, put us on the list. We are there.
Yeah, and
we reserved our seats.
I'm going to put this link in the show notes, but you can call Denny directly at 407-937-8583 for tickets. And
hopefully there's some left.
If you do, tell them you heard about the whole thing.
It's all fine and dandy.
That's it. That is it. So anyway, that's going to be an interesting and fun weekend. I don't know that we're going to, unfortunately, make it to the Wekiva thing because we're working that day. Yeah. But we're definitely going to the Tornatore's event.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Earth Day, these people do Earth Day all year long. Like, literally, this is their goal is to make a positive impact on trash consumption in this world. Okay. We use them. It's O-Town Compost. And basically what they do, if you're in any of the zones that they service, basically, which is all of Orlando, now Apopka. I mean, they're all over the place. But what they do is they bring you this 5-gallon bucket. You pay a monthly fee, and you can recycle all of your food scraps. And you wouldn't believe, I mean, even when you're paying attention to it, you wouldn't believe how much food scraps you have. Because think about when you peel an apple or a potato or a banana, that's just normally going in the trash. And their goal is to keep as much food out of the landfills as possible. And they've kept so much out so far, and they're just going farther. So speaking of Earth Day,
I love how you tied that in. And that's great. We've been using them for years, literally.
Yes.
And, we don't get compost. We don't do the garden like we literally just use them to take our food scraps and go help the environment and make compost for everyone else. Now, Charlie Pioli from O-Town Compost was on the show way back in July of 2020 on episode 72.
That's right. We went to one of his composting places, and we sat outside because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So we had the nice fresh air and sitting outside and recorded in like his garden composty area.
Such a cool thing too, though, because not only did he have the compost bins, but as he walked us around the yard, it was like an edible food forest, and Charlie would just pluck a thing off and eat it and kind of explain to us what it was. But while we were out there, and this is way back then in 2020, he showed us the compost piles. He showed us how they do it. You could feel the heat coming off of it, and just the biological activity with all
it's so cool.
Really, really neat. And since then, they have exploded.
They have grown. And I will say, if you go online, if you're, interested in a job there, they have amazing benefits of working there, and they pay very well because he's posted before about, what they offer. And right now they're actually looking for an experienced truck driver because they are growing very quickly. So if you are interested in that, you can check them out at info@otowncompost.com. We will put a link in the show notes so you can click right down. Great company to work for, especially if you're really wanting to make a huge impact and a difference in our environment.
Yes.
In your community, basically.
Indeed. Yeah, indeed. So anyway, great company. One thing I want to mention before, this is kind of sort of a cheap plug or request for help for our own personal needs here, I hate to say, but we are literally putting out an APB for a sidewalk installer. If you or someone has a company or does sidewalk installs, we are getting ready to get our driveway removed and replaced with pavers, but our paver company doesn't do sidewalks. We have to do that little tiny chunk that goes through your driveway. We have a single car wide driveway. I have literally left voicemails at 8 different companies. One of them called me back. None of the rest have called me back. So if you know someone, we would love to help support a local small company for this, but we are struggling to find the right connection for this.
I know. I've asked everybody I know, and nobody knows of somebody.
It's crazy.
I know. Now, I feel like our paver guy that's putting our pavers in, he needs to make a connection.
He's looking. He's found a
Okay.
couple potentials, but I want to reach out in every direction right now.
Yeah, and also make sure it's going to, pass all those codes and everything. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a short but sweet episode this week. And as always, we thank you each and every week for tuning in and seeing what's going on with us, life, and what's going on in our community. And remember, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dandy. Hi guys, we hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, we would love a review. So make sure to head over to your Apple Podcast app or whatever app you listen to your podcast on and give us a 5-star review. Also, give us a like and a follow on our social media. You can find that all under Fine and Dangy. And if you want to find out more about our guest or about us, head over to fineanddangy.com.
Thought it was over, didn't you?
I did.